Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City Beat. The gang's all here, but unfortunately, we gotta go through some business, fellas.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we have to, Ross. We have to. Another loss, another familiar loss, another blown lead in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's going on? What? What's going on?
It's the same old, it seems. I don't think anyone in the Baltimore, DC area is comfortable if we're winning a football game now with 2 minutes to go. Like, at this point, we're expecting to give up the lead, and that's a really horrible place to be when you have a team that's, going into the season, people thought was Super Bowl caliber.
Mm-hmm. Ross?
Yeah, can you want to try losing in the fourth, going in the fourth quarter? Maybe I don't know. I mean, I might feel more confident. I mean, a lead. I mean, what's that in the fourth quarter for us right now? It's like I said,
blown.
Yeah.
It's a tough place to be because I kind of consider myself that optimistic fan. When the going gets tough, it's like no, it'll be fine. It's cool. It's the Ravens. It'll be fine. And now I find myself leaning more cynical. I mean, can you blame us? I mean, we barely beat the Bengals at home on Sunday Night Football, albeit a great night. See you guys. We lost to the Bills, who are arguably still one of the best teams in the NFL. We lost to the Dolphins in a complete embarrassing fashion. I mean, we just got picked apart in the second half. And here we are traveling to New York on the shittiest turf field in the NFL, and we lost again. Blown fourth quarter. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely some of his personnel. It's miscommunication on the back end. It's snowballing out of control. It's an offense that just can't. It plays really well in the first two quarters, and then the second half they just can't find a way to get first downs. They can't find a way to turn field goal touchdowns. Like, it's just horrible. Like, they get to the red zone and they're throwing picks. It's like Lamar Jackson turns into a pumpkin. Like, it's a whole thing, and it's really confusing. And a lot of it's coaching. Like, are they being too aggressive? Are they being too conservative? Are they putting too much on the passing game late? I have a lot of issues but the Ravens are no longer feared defensively, especially in the second half, which is a huge issue.
No.
Yeah, that used to be what we were. You get to the second half, it's like, all right, let's go. Let's shut it down. Is the offense not helping enough? Or
I mean, two turnovers, an interception, and a fumble don't help. I mean, and again, the interception, like, I want to talk about that for a second, because on that play, you saw Lamar trying to do what Lamar can do, and that's make amazing plays on the fly as an improviser, get away from defenders, and he absolutely sucked at it in that moment and launched it. I mean, honestly, the veteran move, the $250 million guaranteed move would be just take the sack. You get another down, live to fight another play. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure he got that pad. Throw it away.
Yeah, that too.
He was out of the pocket. I thought maybe he couldn't get the line of scrimmage, but when I saw the replay later of all 22 or top, I was like, hold on, that pick was past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Jordan was like, pick good. I was like, well, wait a minute. If we punted from where the line of scrimmage would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had no faith in the Ravens defense stopping them, whether we punted it or not. So ultimately, by throwing a pick there, the Ravens had a chance to get the ball back with 2 minutes left versus punting it and then them going all the way down the field and scoring. I mean, maybe they didn't get a field goal, we go to overtime. I don't know. Either way, it's a horrible situation to be in.
Now, this is also where we're talking about this after it happened. I had to remind everyone, those turnovers don't happen. If yes, he had an amazing game. And I saw earlier today that the play that I texted you all, man, he should have gave the Drake on that. And it was like, Lamar wasn't looking at the right spot. You give the Drake, he's outside, gone.
Yeah.
After that, they gave the Drake more. But he lines up right. We got a first down.
Yep.
Yeah, it used to be that the Ravens were the team making the adjustment at halftime, coming out remember the AFC Championship game against Patriots? They were losing. They come out. They dominate. Like that was their MO. Now they're not making any adjustments. It seems teams are making adjustments to them, and it's adding to the fire.
Yeah, and that's what doesn't get me. I mean, we're not talking about like a young coaching staff. We're talking about one of the best coaching minds in football in the last 15 years. John Harbaugh, I mean, he's a veteran head coach. Like he's been around the league for a very long time now. And the decisions that we're making, the miscommunications, the lack of adjustments, it's nauseating. This is something you would expect from a Cliff Kingsbury and the Arizona Cardinals, not from John Harbaugh, who led the Ravens to a Super Bowl team, has been in the playoffs most of his career. We've touched the playoffs most of his career. It's not like Brian Billick, where we won the Super Bowl, went to the playoffs, and then it was shit with Kyle Bowler for the next God knows how long. No, we're talking about a legit head coach who's, where his assistants have gone off, as we know. I mean, Wink had his day, so we're talking about, it just doesn't make sense to me. And that's where I'm confused. Like, is it personnel? Is it player? Is it just complete systematic where maybe we need to reconstruct the boat? I don't know, but it's bad.
Agreed. Yeah, I think it's like now we're to the point where, do we clean house at the end of the season? Do you even try to re-sign Lamar? Like it's like a lot of things, a lot of question marks surrounding a team that probably shouldn't have these kind of question marks. And there's players, liking trade conversations on Twitter. You've got players like Bateman upset that we're hiring receivers like Deshaun Jackson. Like there's clearly dysfunction in the locker room. They're lacking a leader that they have. I mean, I love Campbell to death, but he's no Lamar. He's no Ray Lewis. He's no Ed Reed. He's no Terrell Suggs. He's no Yonda. They're missing that anchor in that locker room right now, and everyone's real lost. Lamar Jackson should be that leader. He does lead, but he doesn't lead in a way that I think gets players. Unless he plays well, they're not gonna. That's my feeling about him anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things where I sit at home and I'm watching the game and I see Lamar Jackson virtually just sitting on the bench with this sour look on his face more times than not. And I mean, granted the fact, I've played ball. So, I've been on those sidelines in both, college and high school. And it's a pretty active situation where there's not a lot of time really to just sit and be quiet. Like you should always be engaged. You should always be watching the game, always getting ready for your moment to go out there, looking at the previous plays. What could I have done wrong? And I mean, it is frustrating to me that I don't see that. What do you see when Tom Brady makes a mistake? Outside of, there's a 50-50 chance he's either going to sit down kindly and watch the play, or he's going to destroy the tablet. One or the two is going to happen. I see neither from Lamar. I don't see that review of the play. It's like, oh man, I'm sorry, my bad. Let me hit my chest, my bad. Like that's what I see more times than not. And it's not your bad. I mean, yes, you are bad right now, and you're costing us games. And I just think that this team needs to mature. Like I said on Twitter, there's no discipline. Like Jordan, like you said, when we had, Suggs, when we had Ray Lewis, when we had Reed, we had discipline. We had a solid squad that people were scared of. They're not. We have a bunch of kids just flying out there being athletes, hoping that shit works out.
Agreed.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it does bring us to this Browns game that I think is, again, it looks like a win on paper, but the Browns play us tough every year, every game. And the way this team is playing right now, I don't know. We can't let the Browns hang around, or I'm not confident we're going to pull it out. No. It's a horrible feeling to see the Ravens keep spoiling these long wins.
Because, I mean, the Browns have, I almost want to say, a very similar team to the Giants. A dynamic, all-pro running back, a game-managing quarterback, two running backs. Forget, Kareem Hunt's on that squad. So, let Nick Chubb get tired. Don't worry, Kareem Hunt's in. Cool. Like, what? Like, and again, like you say, it's AFC North. It's the Browns. The Browns could be 0-15 and it's 0-16. It's the last game of the season, and they're probably going to win against the Ravens because that's just how much they hate us. Like, it's baffling, man. I'm not confident. about Sunday. For the first time in a very long time, I could say I'm not confident at all that we can win.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, Ross, what are you looking at with the Browns as far as like what the Ravens need to do to win this football game?
I mean, it's hard to say because I've said if passing's work, keep passing, but then that seems to slip away. I mean, I'd say feed Andrews as much as possible. I don't know how. I mean, them. He just look around more. Hopefully, they have Bateman back.
Yeah,
That'll help. That'll definitely should help. I mean, hopefully we can get Lamar we had before with Bateman. I mean, they're missing Ward, so missing the top corner, so that could help.
fingers crossed. Yeah.
And hopefully we have all the resurgence of what's his name? Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with what we have, J.K. Dobbins, who's getting a surgery, couldn't have happened at a worse moment. I mean, and you know when I think he was pulled out of the game, like I just had this feeling it's not good.
I just thought they didn't want to play on that crap ass turf.
While true, they let Ronnie Stanley stay out there. So
apparently that was his decision. After they were still going to rotate him, but he decided, no, I'll stay, which kind of makes me question, you've been this past there before. If all of a sudden, like, no, I'm good.
Are you?
You weren't before, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really curious to see. I mean, Kenyon Drake, again, breakout game, and we'll get to him in a little bit, but I mean, it couldn't have happened at a better moment when you see JK go down like this. I mean, I'm curious to know, honestly, at this point, what happens to JK. I mean, we saw how hard it was for Saquon to come back off his injury. What happens to JK after this year? Does he stick around? Does he take more of a RB2? Do we go into the draft looking for our running back? We know this league runs by committee now, but can JK stick around? Is he going to be strong enough?
He looks explosive enough. I mean, if you didn't get, I mean, up to that point where he was pulled, he looked like he was a running back one for us.
Mm-hmm.
He was good. I mean, obviously they took it easy with him, but he definitely looked like he could be a guy that could lead a team in rushing. I think the Ravens do like him still. I think he still has one more year in his deal, so he's not going anywhere next year.
Yeah.
Let's also remember, he's younger than when Saquon was going through this. And like Jordan said, cheaper when Saquon. The Giants already paid him. So that crap.
Oh, shit.
We said we still have, cheap JK. And like I said, he's like I said, if this is going to help him get even better, healthier, I mean, maybe he was pushed himself and everyone's like, I remember reading all the week, why is he not getting the carries?
Yeah.
Maybe the coaching staff knows more than the people on Twitter.
That's nine times, I would say 10 times out of 10. The people, Twitter is just God. And that does bring me to something I did want to talk about with you guys, because I know me and Ross are pretty active on Twitter, Jordan. You'll probably find your way back, hopefully. We miss you on Twitter. It's a very volatile place. We got Eric DaCosta's wife virtually having to shut down her Twitter because people were that upset with the recent wide receiver signing, and virtually any other time Eric DaCosta makes a decision Twitter doesn't like, they go after her.
They think she controls the NFL, but
yeah, like she's the wife. She's not Eric DaCosta. I'm sure she could whisper things in his ear like, oh, do this, but he's not gonna fucking listen. It's his job. It's his multi-million-dollar job on the line, and she has nothing to do with it. The people on Twitter are just, again, it's a very toxic place, but
we should
most
be honored. What other team's GM's wife interacts with the fans multiple times? She liked the video for us.
Yeah,
she tweeted us out to help us get followers.
That was awesome.
I mean,
yeah, she's great in my book.
Leave her alone.
Yeah, leave her the fuck alone. Like, if you're on Twitter and you're going off Mrs. DaCosta, like leave her the fuck alone. Pretty much, it's like, come on. She has no decisions. I mean, go after her husband, go after her. Well, I guess those guys aren't online. I don't know. But again, it's such a toxic place. And again, obviously, Deshaun Jackson, D-Jax.
I mean, it's a puzzling move in that he's a little older, but it's not like he's going to take away. Like, he's just kind of filling that role that Marcus represents. Like, I mean, I'm not
he's more or less
scared of what his. If anything, he'll be a home run hitter.
Yeah.
A few plays a game. He's there to get guys off the line of scrimmage. He might actually catch a touchdown pass, and we're all gonna be like, "Oh my god, DaCosta's a genius." Odds are, no, he'll just spade back into the distance like all the other receivers that they keep signing. We need Bateman to come back, and that'll open up the offense with him and Duvernay. Yep. We saw what he did against the Dolphins and the Patriots. Like, that's what we need.
Yeah.
The Bills game was an outlier because it was dumping freaking rain.
And
he's been hurt since.
Everyone was saying that Bateman was laughing at the sign. No, he was laughing at you all reacting to the signing. He was like, he's not taking anything from me.
No.
He's a 30-plus-year-old home run hitter at most. Which,
he's
by the way,
he's like our age.
He wanted to play. He's excited. And also, Ed Reed thinks it's an amazing move.
Ed Reed does, because when Ed Reed was playing 10 years ago, Deshaun Jackson was like one of the best receivers. Was it not last year Deshaun Jackson was still not burning people deep?
They could sign Trent Green and Ed Reed and be like, yeah.
Of course, he also got on the people on Twitter like, you all need to calm down.
Yeah.
It's a game.
It is only week 7. The Ravens are in first place in the North. They're only 2 of their losses to teams that are currently 5-1. So I feel like there's like I'm an optimist like you, Gerald. Like, I feel like the Ravens, as bad as it looks to us, with purple lenses on, like, we're still control of our destiny. The AFC North is a freaking hell shithole. Like, as long as we just take care of business from here on out, with our toughest games really just being Tampa and the Bengals, like, that's it. Like, we're on easy street, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got through what are the tougher parts. I mean, remember, we are playing a last place schedule. I mean, we had to hit a couple. We had the AFC East. I mean, they had to hit them all. So that's why we had Buffalo. That's why we had the Dolphins. After this, like I said, after Tampa, and to be honest, Tampa doesn't, scare me.
It's on the road, though.
It is on the road. That does concern me, but
we are not feeling the road tonight.
Yeah,
I'm not calling that one. Look, I'm not even going to talk about that game until next week because of just who it is.
But see, you were talking about how he's fired up. Yeah, his offensive lineman more or less said, "Get the fuck out of our face! You weren't even here all week. You were at Robert Kraft's wedding. Who are you? You don't want to be here.
Who are you?"
It's a great Thursday night game, though. Like, obviously, Thursday nights has just been horrible. And now you get Lamar Jackson versus Tom Brady.
Yeah,
like, that's just great television. So I'm excited about that, and I'm gonna forget it's happening until Thursday at 6 o'clock. I'm like, oh my god, the Ravens play in 2 hours.
Oh shit! Let me get on Amazon Prime real quick.
Ideally, we won't have to. It should be on TV here.
Yeah, I think it is legal.
Which channel? We probably be on what? NBC, ABC. It won't be on CBS.
I think it's NBC. I'm not positive.
I would dare assume it's probably going to be on NBC. We'll find out. But yeah, I mean, we first got to get past the Browns. I mean, there's it's pretty much at the end of the day, no team scares me against the Ravens, but the Ravens. Right now, the only team I'm worried about against the Ravens is them themselves. I have a lot of questions.
If we do lose this Sunday, when we have the Super Bowl team in-house.
Minus the MVP.
Oh, yeah.
Well, MVP's a little busy. He's currently he's doing stuff.
Did you hear Real Fan Dan's going to get honored?
It'll be fun.
Did you hear Real Fan Dan's going to get honored? Like with all the other legends, I guess there was the guy that did the Colts and did the O's chant. They're going to be there as well. Like, that's going to be pretty dope. I saw that right before we went online.
You know what bothers me about Real Fernandez? They stopped showing him taking his shirt off. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I have. What is that
and
about?
that's a major moment in football games because it gets me amped up.
It is. It's like
and I don't, and this is the thing too. I don't like the timing of their version of Renegade. Like they're not playing it when it matters. Like they're playing it to start the fourth quarter. Like it was too late against the Bengals, and I was like, "You guys should have been playing this 20 minutes ago, and we needed a stop." I'm like, what are you doing? Like, wait until the 2-minute warning. We're already losing by 10. Like, stop.
I have a couple of gripes against M&T Bank. I'm gonna be real with you. Sunday, we didn't get to talk about this, Jordan, but we all stayed after the game, me, Colleen, and Ross.
Sure.
We were going to try to get on Sunday Night Football. We thought that would be baller as shit. This is going to be awesome. You know, every stadium does this. You watch Sunday Night Football, there's a shit ton of fans back there screaming, acting crazy. I'm feeling great. It's Sunday Night Football. It's my anniversary weekend. I'm with one of my oldest friends and my wife. We're going to have a great time. They try to kick us out, even after they told us to stay behind to watch the Ravens post-game show. We're like, hell yeah, let's do it. Oh shit, it's right there. Security comes. All right, guys, everybody get out of here. What? Are you kidding? It's like, again, the only team that worries me against the Ravens is themselves, and that includes the stadium. That includes the coaches. Like we just got failure at every single level of this system.
I almost feel like they're just going through the motions, like trying to repeat what happened 10 years ago with the Super Bowl team. Yeah. And it just feels stale. Like it's almost like they're acting like Ravens and they're not actually Ravens. Like they've lost their mindset. Like they forget what it should be like to be a Raven, like to play like a Raven. Because none of these players have chips on their shoulder. Nobody's running through a wall for these coaches and these players. And, you know, like it's really sad, in my opinion, as a Ravens fan, that we got to kind of watch a product that isn't quite what we are expecting.
You're right. It feels like a watered down version of the team we used to have. Because, I mean, even that 2019 team where we were like 14-2, where you would have thought for sure this is a Super Bowl caliber team, at least AFC Championship. I mean, you have a lot of those same guys there. And in fact, in some positions, even better guys. You have Owe, who, you know, I think is potentially a great solid linebacker, you know, to come. I mean, you have Marcus Peters back there. You have Marcus Williams. Again, Bateman. I'll even throw in Duvernay because that kid balls the fuck out. Again, on paper, you have a Super Bowl winning team. But on TV, in the stadium, I don't know what the fuck you got.
And it's funny to see how the media is looking, because I've seen them as high as 4 in the power rankings after just taking 3-3. I've seen them all the way at 17. And like I feel like everyone is still waiting for the Ravens to just beat the piss out of somebody. Yeah. Because their offense is top 5, in my opinion, when it's rolling. And the defense, for 3 quarters anyway, is top 5. We're keeping teams like the Bills and the Bengals down to like 10, 17 points at half. Like that's really good. And then they all lose their minds collectively in the fourth quarter, and they're giving up 20, 30 points at a clip like the Dolphins, and it's just mind blowing to me.
Yeah, I mean,
this team is so bipolar. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. It is. It makes no sense to me because it's like we have the players. I don't know if it's Coach McDonald, you know, I mean, he's a rookie NFL coordinator right now, you know, he's coming from college. It's a different ball game in college, you know, even right down to some of the rules are different. So, I mean, there's still that time to adjust, you know, but adjustments are, you know, you consistently suck, you know. This is where we need to make a difference because we're great. Like you said, 3 quarters of the game, man. And then we pull Atlanta Falcons. I can't even say Atlanta Falcons anymore because we've outdone them.
And on defense, can we please stop dropping Owe in the coverage, please?
Why the hell is if he's
why am I seeing him 10 yards off the line of scrimmage?
Yeah,
trying to cover a tight end. I thought he was here to rush the passer.
No, I thought that was his sole purpose. I thought the man was a defensive end.
Everyone's like, he's not getting sacks. Well, I mean, it's hard for him to get sacks if half the time he's getting dropped in the coverage.
Makes no sense at all. I mean, of course, yes, you have Owe, who's probably as big as most tight ends. I get it. You know, you want a body matchup, but again, you're wasting talent leaving this kid in a position where he's not comfortable.
Luckily, the Cavalry's coming. Bowser is tremendous in coverage. He was our best pass rusher last year. Ujabo seems to be ahead of schedule. My guess is he's coming back after the bye week. That's two monsters that you guys put in the front seven.
Yeah.
And then Marcus Williams coming back like towards in November sometime for broken wrist. So it's like I'm really excited about the pieces that are coming back. Obviously, the other foot is who's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
In the meantime, because it seems like we're losing Ravens left and freaking right. It's really unfortunate that this team just can't click.
The other question is who's going to step up as that third corner? I mean, that seems to be the biggest problem. Everyone's like, all right, there's Marcus Peters. Don't go to him. Humphreys, don't get. Oh, who's on 5? We'll go to him. Where's 22? We'll go. I mean, losing Kyle Fuller hurt.
I feel like luckily we don't face a lot of offenses going forward that have, a McKenzie in the slot or like a Higgins in the slot. Like we're playing some pretty dynamic offenses. I mean, the Buccaneers are pretty good with Godwin and Evans and their team, but other than that, like I'm not afraid of the Browns receiving core. Like, I'm not afraid of what the Steelers are putting out there with Pickett or the guy under center. Like I'm just not like the rest of our schedule just isn't that scary. The Jaguars, the Panthers, the Saints. I mean, it's the Falcons. Like bring them.
Yeah, I'm
excited about that.
I mean, essentially, the Ravens just have to. And I'm not confident to say this because the AFC North is the AFC North, but the Ravens just have to manage not to beat themselves. Again, if we can beat the Browns, if we can go on and beat the Steelers, maybe split a game with the Bengals, it might happen. I mean, there's no reason why we're not in the playoffs, but here's the thing. Once we get there, what are we going to do? Because we're not looking at a playoff team. We're not. We're looking at a team that's going to probably get lucky into the playoffs because what did the Steelers have? Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky? Deshaun Watson, we don't know what he's going to do or he's coming back. Yep. The Bengals seem to trying to figure out themselves still, even after they just went to the Super Bowl. And
they've got a tough schedule because they still have to play the Bills. They still have to play the Chiefs. They still have to play the Titans. Like, that's rough for them.
Yeah.
So, like, they're in some trouble. So if the Ravens can win the division and get that first wild card home game, they're going to get the number one wild card. It's going to end up being a really tough team, like, I don't know, the Chargers or just spitballing. I don't know who else is really good, but like that's who they're going to end up getting. And if they can't shut it down in the fourth quarter, my guess is we're going to see that thing in the fourth quarter, and it's going to come down to the defense having to stop it. It's going to be a narrative of that football game.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. But on to the Browns. Hoping for the best. Weather is questionable. There is rain possibly in the forecast.
Nice early before it changed. I didn't like that.
What'd you say?
It was nice earlier. Then it changed.
Yeah. Welcome to Maryland in the fall. But it's gonna be interesting. We'll see how this game goes. I mean, again, I would like to see the passing game improve. It would be very comforting as a fan to see a decent passing game, out of the Ravens. But I just want to win. Simply put, I'm not going to ask for too much. I'm not going to sit here and make a Christmas list. I just want a fucking complete win for once.
We've yet to have one. We've yet to have one.
Yeah,
I've not been able to relax at all in the fourth quarter.
None, because
like at all. Fourth quarter is I've relaxed at halftime.
Yeah,
I can't even shit talk anymore. Like I was at the Bills game and I was talking so much smack, and then they come back and they're playing the Bengals, and I'm like, you guys suck, and then here they come again.
Yeah,
and it's just like I've got to like eat crow for the next quarter, and then like luckily Tucker saved us because that would have been horrible. Like, but that was funny because I turned around and I told this guy, I was like, you guys scored a touchdown way too quickly. Now you're going to lose. There's nothing you can do about it. Watch the Hall of Famer. And it was hilarious.
Oh, God. I'm so glad that worked out for you.
When it comes to that. Yeah, if he clinked it up,
that would have sucked.
It worked out. But, yeah.
No. But let's give out the game ball. I mean, win or lose, I like to give that out. And we got to give it out to Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake is this week's game ball, 119 yards and a touchdown on 10 carries and a season high 34 snaps. He was an absolute workhorse and a loss. So hopefully he can repeat that for a win this weekend. Good job, Kenyon Drake. Bam.
Yeah, I was super impressed
up
by his
correctly.
ability to get out in space.
Yeah.
Pop it.
I mean, and the thing about Kenyon Drake, you know, he's kind of become a journeyman running back. You know, he's found his way onto a couple of teams. And I mean, I feel like if I see him in fantasy, I usually jump after him, at least in years past. So I've seen Ross has him now in our league. Don't you have Jackson too? Did you get him?
Yep. Why not?
Ross picking up everybody to Ravens
I have
waivers.
I have Ross. I have bench spots.
Wow,
I was surprised that Gus Edwards was still sitting there after the news of Dobbins-Burke.
Yeah, well, I think that news simply was the fact that nobody really knows what Gus Edwards gonna do, except for probably us.
But with an IR move, it's like, why not just throw him in the IR?
I mean,
he's gonna get the lion's share of the carries when he comes back, I assume.
Yeah, we have like 8 bench spots anyways. What's the harm?
That's exactly why I picked up Jackson. I was like, why not?
Take that, Sean.
Yeah.
And Sean dropped him, so I was like, oh, okay. Why not?
Yeah, lock him in. Hey, hopefully he has a good welcome home game. You know, but any last words? Start with Jordan.
No, I'm going to spend the fourth quarter fretting after spending the first 3 quarters partying, and I'm going to the game, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But it's what is it? Super Bowl day. They got Super Bowl poster. It's going to be a freaking festival. Yeah, we'll hang out some more.
I have a flyover.
Yes. Ross, any last words?
No.
Speechless.
Yeah, Ross is absolutely speechless. I've known this man for almost 20 years. Never heard him speechless. This is wild. Sign of the times, ladies and gentlemen. Signs of the time. You know, honestly, like I said, I just want to win. Like a complete win. Just nothing would make me feel better than to have a relaxing fourth quarter win. But again, I think as a Ravens fan, that's just unrealistic. But you know, I'm just going to keep my purple shades on and hope for the best. I'm going to try to be optimistic.
They got to win because if they lose this game and fall to 3-4, and Tom Brady 4 days later is we got to go in Tampa. If they go 3-5, they can still make playoffs. But holy crap, people are getting fired when that happens. Lamar Jackson is probably not getting the paycheck that he wants. His story isn't written yet, but he's got to make the playoffs to at least get there.
He's got to make the playoffs to at least get re-signed by the Ravens. And sure, we know there are other teams that could throw money out to him, whatever. But I think a lot of people are in the hot seat, and the Ravens kind of play it tight-chested. You know, they don't show all their cards. And there's a lot of people probably in the hot seat right now, i.e., someone with the initials JH. And
Shoddy don't play around, and I think he's been hands off. He's a great owner when it comes to that, but I think he's probably getting very frustrated watching this football game, watching them barely beat the Bengals with Ray Lewis in the suite with them. Like, what has happened to his beloved franchise? And I mean, you saw what happened to Billick. Like, you could be king of the city, and then 3 or 4 years later, you're out because you can't win games. You're losing to the winless Lions on the road. Like, It's the same feeling. Like, it's kind of grown stale. Even with Buck Showalter with the Orioles, same kind of feeling. Like, you've kind of worn out your welcome. Players don't respect you. Teams don't respect you. Your old school mentality isn't working.
But hopefully things turn around. But that does it for our show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care. Go Ravens.